Hello, my name is Arik Hermanikian. I'm a concept designer and the author of Introducing Mudbox, published by Wiley. In this video, I'll go through the workflow of turning 3D scan data of a face, scanned with the NextEngine 3D scanner, into a production-friendly model using Autodesk Mudbox 2012. This is the process I go through in more depth and detail in Chapter 7 of my book, Introducing Mudbox. What we will do in the next few minutes is take data that was scanned with the NextEngine 3D scanner, and as you can see here, we've scanned the left and the right side of the face, and take this messy scan data and convert it into topology that can be sculpted, animated, and painted. So let's get started. The first step is to import the two OBJ files that were produced by the NextEngine 3D scanner software. So we've scanned the left and right sides of Todd's face, and we've imported those as OBJ files into Mudbox. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and add a base mesh that has good topology and UVs. I'm just going to go ahead and use the basic head that comes standard with Mudbox. And after adding that, what we want to do is align the two up. So I just am resizing and translating this object, the basic head that comes with Mudbox, to match roughly the scan data that we have. It doesn't have to be too accurate, but what we need to do is align some of the landmarks of the face. And I talk about this a little bit more in detail as to what those landmarks are in my book. But here I'm just very quickly trying to move this mesh and rotate it and align it so that some of the landmarks, such as the tip of the nose and the cheekbones, good idea is to lock down the scan data so I don't actually manipulate it. But what I want to do is just the tip of the chin, the sides of the mouth, etc. And this process takes a little bit of time, but definitely not as long as it would take to do retopology in different ways. Once the alignment is done, we're ready for the next step, which is to extract the displacement map. But what we're going to do is we're going to extract a displacement map that has the detail of the scan data. However, it's going to place them on the UVs of the basic head, that base mesh that we brought in and aligned with the scan data. That operation is pretty simple. We'll go to Maps, Extract Texture Maps, and New Operation. What we want to do here is extract a displacement map, so we'll choose that in the list. And go ahead and add the target and source models. The target model, using a little shortcut here, the target model is going to be the basic head, and the source models are going to be the left and right side scans that we have. We're going to use raycasting as our method of doing the extraction. We'll do a best guess for search distance. We want to test both sides. I'm going to use a 2K map for this. You can use a 4K map or an 8K map if you have more scan detail. And most importantly, we want to use a 32-bit file, RGBA file. I'm going to use OpenEXR. You can also use TIFF if you need to. But we'll go ahead and use OpenEXR and create the displacement map. So now that we've actually named it, the last step of this operation is to go ahead and click on the extract button, and we can see down here in the progress bar that the texture map or the displacement map is being extracted, and in a few seconds it'll be done. And as we click OK and close the map extraction results dialog box, we'll see a little bit of a change here. I'm going to go ahead and hide the two scan halves, and as you can see, what Mudbox has done is it's actually applied the displacement map as a bump map, as a paint layer bump map to the image. So this is a good way to quickly look and see if there's any holes or anything that the displacement map missed, and it seems okay. So we'll go ahead and hide that displacement map. And what we need to do next is go ahead and add enough geometry onto this base mesh to accommodate the scan detail. So I can see here from the two halves that I have about 130,000 polygons that I need to accommodate for. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and subdivide this mesh, and we can either hit Shift-D or use the menu item here. I'm going to use the menu item for my first one. We're at about 8,000 polygons. Hit Shift-D a couple more times and we're at about 128. I'm going to do it one more time just to get extra polygons. It's always good to have more than less. And I'm at about 512k polygons for this base mesh here. I'm not seeing the detail on the model because I've gone ahead and changed my render preferences to show me limit my wireframe at 0. We'll go ahead and go up to 4 so you can see that we actually have a lot of small polygons that make up this face. So now that we're done with that, we'll go ahead and apply that displacement map. So we're going to the Maps menu and saying Sculpt using Map. We'll choose the basic head mesh and we'll choose the displacement map that we generated. It's right here. And click on Go. And that's all we have to do. Now what Mudbox has done is it has transferred that displacement map with all its detail onto this base mesh that has good topology. It looks like there's a little bit of cleanup I need to do, but not really that big of a deal. I'll use the Smooth tool from or the smooth tool from the sculpting menu. This can also be done by holding down the Shift key and just go ahead and adjust this bottom part. Notice all the holes that I had are gone, and some of the stretching I can very easily fix and erase. Hide the wireframe. Some of the stretching I can really fix and erase by using the really nice flatten and smooth tools that are available to you in Mudbox. There's a bit of a seam here that I can easily get rid of as well, and there it is. So now that we've got this scan data on good topology, we can do a lot of things like paint it. So to do that, we'll just go into the image browser where I have a picture of Todd and set that as a stencil. And here, when we go to the paint tools and go to projection, what we need to do is align Todd's face with that scan. So one way of doing it, of course, is to align the model, and also we can manipulate the stencil and rotate it and move it as well. I'm holding down the S key to do that. And once we get these aligned, then all I need to do is just go ahead and paint. I actually need to go ahead and add a new layer for that. So we're going to add a diffuse layer. And just go ahead and on that diffuse layer, projection paint that image onto the sculpture. So just as easy as that, I can get this textured. And here's the neck part, the t-shirt, etc. Of course, this is something that I could spend a little bit more time on to get finer detail. But as you can see, with just a little bit of work, I have been able to, and let me go ahead and hide that stencil. With a little bit of work, I've been able to go ahead and transfer the paint details of Todd's face onto here. I can also use this image as a bump map to go ahead and maybe put in some of the finer details on here, like some of the pores, etc. But here we are, just with a little bit of work, we've been able to go ahead and capture somebody's likeness and use it to texture. And also notice here that I can very easily use the sculpting tools to maybe add a little bit of expression to Todd's face. Again, this is a model that can be used to animate because it has lower subdivision levels that can be put into a game or in a movie or an ad or whatever. Anyway, that's the process that we've gone through. Thank you for watching. And again, you can see this in more detail and read about it in my book, Introducing Mudbox. Thank you for watching.